Fucking Sui-Feng. Okay, so, my favorite moment from the captain of the 2nd Division and the leader of the Stealth Corps, Sui-Feng, I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll go with the one time in the entire series that her Nigeki Katetsu 2-hits kill ability, you know, actually worked. You know, like, she actually was able to kill an opponent with it, and that would be against Higio Vega, outside of, like, fillers, of course. Because that attack was, like, really hyped up, like, holy shit, you can kill your opponent in just 2 hits, that's amazing. And then she used it on Yoruichi, and it was just kind of like, okay, I've decided not to kill you. And it didn't work on Aizen, because he's just like, Ryatsu cockblock, bitch! So yeah, I guess I'll go with that. As for my least favorite moment from Sui-Feng, one of several, oh, God, I don't know, there's so many to choose from. I don't know, okay, I guess I'll go, okay, tell you what, I'll tell you, but then I have to explain it. And I'm going to try to explain a little bit of where my, I don't want to say hatred, but my dislike of Sui-Feng comes from. Why she is my least favorite captain, alright? My least favorite scene with Sui-Feng is the scene right after she released her Bankai and launched her Jakuho Raikoben missile at Baragon. The first time she did it, the one that didn't work. She got blasted away by the recoil of that fucking thing, and she tied a steel sash around her to kind of lessen it, but the blast wave was so fucking strong, the kickback from that thing was so great, it actually tore the metal sash and sent her flying into a fucking skyscraper. And Omaida, her lieutenant, you know, jumped in at the last second and grabbed her from getting, like, fucking pulverized into this skyscraper. You know, I'm not saying it would kill her, but she was already pretty wounded at that point, and she probably would have gotten sent flying maybe through the building and into another one. You know, Omaida cushioned her impact. And her reply to her lieutenant for doing that for her was basically, get the fuck off me, you fat pig. Or get off me, it's disgusting, or something akin to that. Yeah, she's a bitch. Like, I'm not saying that just as, like, a way, like, oh, I can't think of any good reason to hate Sui-Feng, so whatever, she's just a bitch. No, she's a bitch, and I can prove this, okay? When her and Omaida were first introduced in the series, near the tail end of the Soul Society arc, you know, their little dynamic with each other was very apparent. You know, Sui-Feng is very stern, she's very loyal, she would uphold the law of the Soul Society above all else, she's very serious, and, you know, she's like this small little petite ninja girl, and then we have her lieutenant, which is this big, obese guy, you know, blabbermouth, freaking talks a mile a minute, talks out of his ass, just, you know, freaking shoving junk food into his mouth, that is Omaida. And this is a character, you know, interaction dynamic that we've seen a bunch of times in fiction. You know, we have, you know, the stern, very serious individual, and then the bumbling oaf of a sidekick. Now, granted, Kubo did a good job of turning this trope on its head when he had Omaida actually be efficient in combat. I think he really just kind of, like, underestimates himself sometimes, but he's actually a pretty competent fighter. You know, he's at least on the level of lieutenant. It wasn't just given to him. He can actually fight when he gets just when he gets, you know, I guess confident enough, right? Well, their character dynamic at first was kind of funny, like, you know, Sui-Feng's berating Omaida, but it just never fucking stops. No matter what Omaida does, whether he helps her or not, he always gets the fucking sass. He always gets a fucking punch in the balls or a kick in the face. Or vice versa. Sui-Feng treats him like a piece of fucking garbage. And it's funny, like, the first few times you see it, like, you fat tub of lard, go stop Ichigo Kurosaki. It's like, ha ha ha. Happens, like, way more times than that, and it's just like, oh my god, lay off him, bitch. Like, seriously. Now, some people give me 2 explanations for this. The first one is, well, that's just Tekking, that's just how her character's written. Okay, that's just how her character's written. I still don't like it. I mean, that's like encountering anybody in real life. I mean, I'm sure we've met people in our lives that just piss us off. I know a guy, he was like I don't want to say a bully, but he was just this fucking agitator. His name was Nate. I went to high school with him. I hated this kid, you know. He would just provoke me and just piss me off all the time, you know. And every time I would complain about him to somebody, they would always just say, oh, that's just the way Nate is. That's just his personality. Like, okay, that's just his personality. I can understand why he's doing it. Still a fucking dick, though. So that's the way I'm looking at Sui-Feng. And the other way, people have, you know, tried to explain this to me as well. You know, she's the head of the stealth force. You know, she's a fucking assassin. She is very stern, and she just has this kind of attitude, this kind of level of expectations when it comes to her subordinates, and she just expects no less from them. Like, okay, but I guess that I wouldn't be really good in the Stealth Corps then. I guess I wouldn't be good in that, because basically you're telling me is, okay, you do a bad job at your whatever you do in the Stealth Corps, then you're gonna get punished for it. But if you do a good job, yeah, well, fuck you, I don't give a shit. You saved my life, I don't fucking care. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking pig. But yeah, I just don't agree with that kind of philosophy. I'm sorry. I'm not saying Sui-Feng has to bow on her knees and thank Almighty and bake him a cake or some shit, but bitch, it's 2 words. Thank and you. Put them together and they make a really nice sound, okay? Like, that's all I'm asking for, Sui-Feng. And then she has her little skit whenever it comes to Yoruichi, like, oh, Yoruichi-sama looked at me, I wonder if we're gonna get together, and blah, blah, blah. You know, you don't fucking deserve Yoruichi. Anyway, this video's gone on longer than I've ever expected. I didn't want this to turn into a massive Sui-Feng bitch fest, but that's what it's become. I'm sorry, guys, but next episode we're getting done with Sui-Feng early on. Let's just be happy with that, alright? Fucking Sui-Feng, man. Alright. Oh, yeah, and tell me your favorite and least favorite moments below. And all your negative comments about how much you hate me because of my reasons for distasting Sui-Feng. Hey, to put it basically in just simple terms, the character of Sui-Feng that Kubo has written, you know, and all her character traits and everything like that, is being perceived by me, Tekking101, subjectively, as being a bitch. Alright? That's the way I'm just laying it out. Alright? Fair enough? Fine. Okay. Bye.